This video is about pressure regulators. There are people out there who have too much water pressure. Now, the input of all of these smaller RO systems under 400 gallons a day, or 400 gallons a day and under, the input canisters are only rated at 80 psi. They can handle a consistent 80 psi, but you shouldn't go over 80. Now, here in Los Angeles, we have a lot of hills around us, and some people at the bottom of a hill have upwards of 200 psi in their pipeline. That is way too much, even for your house. So we have pressure regulators. We have a few different kinds, and you can put these on the input and close them off and turn the pressure down to meet the needs of the water filter. Now, every water filter has a gauge on them. The EX has a dry 1.5 inch gauge, and the GX has a stainless liquid-filled 2-inch gauge. You can simply put a pressure regulator on the front of the unit, turn it down, and watch the pressure gauge here until it hits 80 psi, 70, 60, wherever you feel comfortable running it at. Now, these are in the catalog. These are called the PR adjustables, and you can get them without a pressure gauge on it. And you can just go by the pressure gauge. You can go by the reading that's on the pressure gauge on the water filter, or you can get them with a gauge on them itself. This is a really handy little instrument here. So if you had 20 feet of line connecting from your feed water to your RO, you could plumb this over 20 feet away and adjust the pressure right here. And we're going to show you how to do that. We also have these little, we call them line shockers. This is a pressure regulator itself. It's not adjustable. We call this one a Shock 70, or SHK-70 is the part number. You simply plug this in, and these are 1/4 inch ends on them. We ship them with 1/4 to 3/8 adapters, so you can plug it in. You simply install this in line. There's an arrow for flow direction on it, and it will take the incoming water pressure and drop it down to 70. So this is a real handy. These are less expensive than the adjustables, and you just pop them on, and you're down to 70 psi. Handy little thing to have. Now, the adjustable pressure regulators have 3/8 fittings on them because all our small water filters are plumbed 3/8. But if you wanted to use this on a scrubber or a bigger RO system, we make these, or we carry these stem enlargers. They'll go from 3/8 adapted up to 1/2 inch. And you simply plug them in. Now you're up to a 1/2 inch adaptation. Let's connect one of these pressure regulators. It's real simple. On the body of it, there's a little arrow showing you the flow direction. So the arrow points in the direction of flow, and so the input would be on this side, and you simply plug that in, and the output to the water filter itself. Okay? Now we'll turn on the incoming water pressure, and I'll show you how this thing adjusts. So right now it's set to 0 psi. It's letting nothing through. To adjust it, we pull on the cap and turn clockwise to open the valve. And now we're starting to let pressure through, and we can see the GX400 is going to start making water. We're at 20 psi. This is how much water a GX400 makes at 20 psi. Let's go and see how much water it makes at 50 psi. Ooh. So you can see the difference that pressure, the effect that pressure has on our reverse osmosis system. It's a dramatic difference. Let's go down to 20 psi. That would be counterclockwise turn of the adjustable pressure regulator. Here's the kind of water you're making at 20 psi on a GX400, and then we're going to go up to 50. Imagine how much we'd be making at 80 psi. Now, unfortunately, we don't have 80 psi here at our shop, but that's why we make BP 1530 pumps. That'll get us up to 80 psi. Now, once you get this pressure regulator adjusted where you like it, you simply push down on the top, and it's locked in place, and nobody can come by, bump it, and mess around with it. To make another adjustment, pull up on the top, turn it counterclockwise, that's left, to lower the pressure, turn it clockwise to raise the pressure, push down to lock it in place, and forget about it. It'll take care of it.